Okay, it's July 8th, it's Tuesday. Epidemic is rip-roaring. I gave you about a minute's worth of that uninterrupted. It's kind of a nice little thing. You can listen to it yourself if you want. Epidemic Sound Instrumental, without copyright. Epidemic Sound Instrumental. EPIDEMIC. It's found on YouTube. YouTube Music. Would you believe? Everybody's got music. Well, I spent, oh my God, Sunday, I spent, just about the entire middle of the day working on updating my equipment. I said, oh, this is a great modem. I said, yes, it is, but, you know, I'm paying for this 2 gigabit service, 2 gigabit service, and the modem can't deliver more than 1 gigabit. And you've been charging me for years. You know, it went from a half a gigabit to 1 gigabit to 2 gigabit, and every step is another $5 and 5 is 15, and you know, multiply 15 by 12, that's $180. You know, by 3 or 4, that's $600-700. You guys are taking that out of my pocket. Using a modem that is not capable of delivering the service you're selling me. Isn't there something a little unethical about that? I don't know if it's illegal. You know, my friends tell me illegal is a sick bird. Nothing more than a sick bird. Yeah. Well, welcome to Cafe 812. Cafe 812. That's my new little, it's not new. So, instead of going to Denny's and feeling all the grease all over the tables, we're going to go to Cafe 812 where everything is really nice and clean. Oh, yeah. And you sit around the table and we're chatting. You know, when you sit around a table with 3 or 4 people, you know, some people don't really talk that much. And then other people talk too much. I'm in the too much category, so, you know, at least one thing for sure, you don't have to, I'm reaching here to turn down this light. It's a little too bright. There we go. There's light just sneaking. There you go, that's better. Close those doors. Temperature in our little studio is 69.3. Temperature outside 83.5. July 8th at 13 minutes after the hour. Let's see, can you all see the real time? Maryland. Let's see. You see right there, 9:13? Yeah. I've added this iPad to what's being delivered. There we go, we swapped. Whoops. I was supposed to, whoops. Yeah, this is where you get to swap cameras. Ooh, I got a little one over here. Yeah, we don't want to do that. No, we're going to add me to the right side. Can we do that? Oh, boy. I see. Okay. I'm dealing with the, there we go. Yeah. I'm on the right side. And, wow. Let's see what's going on with there we go. Trying to get the level of epidemic about right. There we go. That's good. It's 9:15. My computer just told me it's 9:15. Every 15 minutes, my computer says, barks out the time in a nice voice. We got new software into. It was downloaded into our Alexa devices, and she has a new voice. Yeah, a nice voice. Let's see if we can hear. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 9:15 a.m.
Alexa, where am I?
You're in the guest room. The device you're speaking to is the guest room Echo Dot with clock.
Okay. I guess she told me, huh? And X just disappeared. We're going to continue without X. Yeah. At the moment, unreliable service, it drops off. But my modem speeds are, much increased, like triple. We can do one here. We'll show you. You are connected to the internet. See that in green? There we go. So now we touch the connection. 35 milliseconds. That's not so good. The ping test. 80 milliseconds on the ping. Just one ping, please. You remember that? In the hunt for Great October? Something like that. Ooh. Upload speeds struggling to get past 10. Yeah, ooh. That's not good. What is going on with my internet? This morning it was leave me alone. Let's do another test. Milliseconds. Needs to be all right, there's 27. Oops, 68. Oh, God. All right, now the internet is... when you're doing a streaming service, you have to keep... that's one of the reasons for the background music, quite frankly. So when I'm talking, the music's talking. When I take a breath, the music is still talking. So, there's an upload speed of 11.9 megabits per second. I need 7. So it was jittering. Look at that jitter. It's 230 milliseconds. That's unacceptable. Because that's a latency. That's a problem. Yeah, the ping test isn't good. 68 milliseconds on the ping. It should be, 20. Anything over 20 is unacceptable. There you go. See, the upload speed is, oh my God. I think I need to turn on my modem, and I need to unplug my modem and replug it in after the show. I see VPN is on. Let's see if I can disconnect VPN. Go to settings, VPN, turn it off. Okay, it's staying off. That often helps, big time. Let's try that now again. With VPN still shows it's on. Yep, there it is. Keeps coming on. I have to go to, let's see, what is it called? Cyber, C-Y-B-E-R. Come on, baby. C-Y-B-E-R. There it is. No. CyberGhost isn't even on here. That can't be. Let's touch this one. And like utilities, I'll go to utilities. Look for that CyberGhost looking thing. I don't see it there. How about recently added? That's no, it's not there. CRF form, no. Okay, we don't seem to. Let's try productivity. That's not the right category for that one. But when you're looking for something, when you're trying to find something, the first place you go is where you think it should be. You know, like utilities. Then you have to look at places where it isn't. Because let's take a look at Whisker, just for the heck of it. Whisker. We're going to log into Whisker. Email address is there. Log in. Come on, baby, log in. Log in. We are logged in. It says my. There we go. Litter is optimal and the waste drawer is half full. And you can see the weight. Kenya is 13 pounds. Kino is the boy. Is 16.2. There we go. And we can see how many. They're both 14 years, 7 months. Yeah, being born on the first of the year, 7 years ago. Yeah, in 2018. Education, cyber is missing. We don't have cyber. All right, let's go here. And I'm trying to turn it off, but it won't turn off. So let's go to applications. And we're gonna go to C, cyber. There is no cyber here. All right, since cyber is not here, then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this all right, I'm going to General, go to the bottom of General, say shut down. I'm going to shut this baby down. And then we're going to restart it. I just lost Facebook. The only people we got left is, what do you call it? YouTube Live. 15 minutes in that broadcast and lost 2 networks. I know why. Because my speed test is not good. The internet is terrible for some reason. So now I'm going to hold my side button on this. I'm a bad. There we go. We have the Apple logo in the middle of the screen. And come up here to cameras. And 13. There we go. And we come up here. Put in my secret password. Okay. Settings. God darn it, that stupid VPN. No, I don't want VPN. I have to find out where that is. I can't even find it on my list of things to deal with. That's annoying. tell you what we'll do. We're going to go to the App Store. And we're going to, there's the thing there. CYBER. Cyber. Gosh darn it. It's always Cyber. GHOST. Cyber Ghost. Yeah. There's that little creature. I guess it doesn't matter which one you... They're both supposed to not be on the iPad. It shows that it's not, so I'm gonna open it. I want to opt out. Already have an account. Put in my email address. There it is. Pull up the passwords. That's. Just use this right here. Log in. Right. So that is, now it's on. Now let's turn it off using the CyberGhost off thingy. All right. Now, is it there? It's not. So we use the app to turn it off. And it is not connected. Thank you very much. I'm going to leave it alone. Not connected is where we want to be. So now we're going to try the speed test again. See if it's improved a little bit. Sometimes the CyberGhost is like the best. Look at that. So there's something a little screwy with the CyberGhost. My megabits per second download speed has now gotten up to 380. And look at that. My upload speed is 75, 76, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 87.4. There you go. That's what we need. There we go. We're opening CyberGhost up here. And it is, we see that it is off. You see the button is off. So guess what? We're going to leave what is known as, we're going to leave well enough alone. You ever hear that expression? We're going to leave well enough alone. Whatever the hell that means, that's what we're going to do. Here we are at Cafe 812 here on the Royal Palm Place, 8 floors above Chops. We have Epidemic Sound instrumental in the background. Thank you very much. There we go. Get that up to 8. There we go. That's where the levers belong, right there. Let's turn this down. That sounds good, right? So I got those levers all the way up. so that way I don't have to think. And if for some reason or other, sometimes it gets a little noisy, so we can pull it down from there. But right now we're going to leave that right where it is. And CyberGhost is not connected. Okay, good. So it's not connected here. It's not connected there. Yeah. So, I don't know. There's something with CyberGhost and the new modem that just drags down the speed like really slow. It's really conflicting with the internet speed. At least with the speed test. Maybe there's something wrong with Oakley. Whatever that's pronounced. The Oakley speed test. Let's. Okay. OAK. All right. No comprehension tests for Jimmy today. Every guess I make is worse than the last. So we'll just stop in the guessing game business. And my flipboard is showing me some the Texas floods. They're the death toll has now increased over 100. Trump announces new tariffs of up to 40% on a growing number of countries. And of course, that is, all that tariff stuff is, they say there's a deal with China. And I think what the deal with China is going to be maybe like a flat 10% going both directions. So reciprocal trade agreement. And I think what the big thing with China is they're going to open up their markets to our exports. Right now that's blocked. We're not allowed to ship anything. So they get access to our markets and we don't get access to their markets. Trump says that's not the way it's going to be. So we're either going to stop everything from China, or you guys are going to, wise up and have a reciprocal trade agreement, just like, just about every other country. So a letter went out to Japan late last week, like Thursday, saying your tariff is 25%. Ouch. That would mean everything from Sony. Sony's a big company. You'd almost, the president of Sony, Japanese gentleman, maybe he needs to visit with Trump and say, what, are you kidding me? We've been trading with your country for, a century, and now all of a sudden we're getting a 25% tariff, which means they have to pay 25%. They got to make a deposit, literally in our Fed account, when a big shipment comes over from Japan. Big shipment, little shipment, every shipment that comes into the United States will now have a tariff of 25% on it. So that makes everything from Japan more expensive. And we can, that just went out. So let's just, let's see. Let's just go here. And we look at, I did a substitution thing with Sony headphone. Let's look at these Ask Rufus. I don't want to ask Rufus anything. Rufus, get out of the way. No change in Sony pricing. It's about the same. But that's going to change in the next, most of these companies in the United States, they sell, millions of headphones. So, just think about the Sony gear, Sony televisions, Sony big screen TVs. You see them in Costco. Sony. They're of the best made in the world. Those screens. I happen to have, I believe it's Samsung. It is magnificent, I can tell you. 85-inch screen. We watch that, and it's like the news people, the size of the talking heads that are on the screen. It's like full seat. It's like full size. When you have an 85-inch screen, it's like the people are sitting in your living room. They're full size. Their heads are as big as my head. And it's high definition, UHD, ultra high definition, 2100 pixels, something like that, which is a tremendous amount of detail. You can definitely see if the fella needs a shave or not. I have my shaver set to 3 millimeters. I shave once a week, Wednesday morning. I take the shaver out. I got a little guard on there, and it keeps the clipper blade 3 millimeters from my skin. And then you have like this little rake, and you just give yourself a shave all the way around. I am so instead of Mr. Smooth Face, I'm Mr. 3 millimeter whisker face. Cover up all the wrinkles. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, it takes about 15 years off your age. Yeah. Not that I care. I'm running here with let's see, what is this? This is July 8th, March, April, May, June, July. Wow. So I'm 4 months past 8 years old. It's 9:38 in the morning, so the stock market should be saying something to us. It's opened down 100 points. 100 points is like, you divide 100 points by 44,000. It's like tenths of a percent. Tesla is up, as you can't see it. We have to make it full screen in order for you to see this. We can do that. There you go. There you go. You see right in the middle of the screen, Tesla 296. I'm going to touch Tesla. Remember, iPads are touchscreen. The most amazing laptop. Yeah, I have this iPad Pro. Oh my God. Look at that. It opened down. This is a 1 week look. We're going to go to the 1 day look. It's up 280. Let's look at the 1 month look. Yeah. It looks like it's there you go. 353. It looks like June 23rd. Yeah, this is a 1 month going backwards look. So it's about right where it was. Look at that. A month ago, on the 9th of June, it was 295. Now it's, it's the 8th of July. Where is it? Same place. 295. A Trump Musk soap opera must end. Yeah, I mean, come on. He's going to start a third party. I mean, Musk, why don't you just shut your mouth and go back into SpaceX and find out what happened to Mission 9? Do something to increase your sales of your cars, because the sales have dropped. You got all these beautiful factories. What good is it if people aren't buying what you're making? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you have lots of hope with the robot. I heard you're making all kinds of pieces. The face plates, the plates that go around the arms to cover up all the motors and the gizmos that are in the arms and the legs and the torso. You got the battery and the computer, big computer. The computer that comes right out of the Tesla car is in the robot. 9 reasons to avoid annuities in retirement. Who's saying that? Fisher Investment. Yeah, you know why? Because Fisher wants to tell you what to get. If you buy an annuity, they decide what you're going to get. Which package of shares. Fisher wants to manipulate that share by share. And some of these annuities, they don't take investment advice from Fisher Investments. So annuities is like the poison pill for companies like Fisher Investments. Fisher's probably great. We've seen him on TV. He's a wealthy guy. He has a very. Once you meet Mr. Fisher, he leaves an indelible impression. All right, let's touch a button right here. Tesla. All right, it's a NASDAQ traded. The symbol is TSLA. Now, in the second quarter report, this is well after Elon Musk and Trump were throwing pies at each other. And their production, they had 410,000 vehicles that the manufactured 410,000 vehicles. And deploying 9.6 gigawatts of energy storage products. Like the wall thing you can put in your garage because of all the stuff you got on your roof. And that's a 18% increase over the last quarter. Well, that's a good thing. Here's a little chart. See if we can figure out how this chart works. Cost of sales. And the gross profit. You can see the gross profit line is getting squeezed. Yeah, gross profit. Let's see, revenues of 95 billion. Can you imagine? Wow, 95 billion. And they're making $6 billion out of $95 billion worth of, stuff. Cost of sales, $78 billion. We got $10 billion in expenses, and the earnings is $6 billion. So they have a cushion, they have a cushion of about $6 billion to deal with the fact that starting January 1, 2026, there's no more $7,500 per vehicle. That has gone bye-bye with the big new beautiful bill that just got signed up. All those B words. So, can some of that expense be absorbed by the car factories? They're, most of them are losing money every time they deliver a car. Not so with Tesla. They're actually making a profit. This is, you see, whoops, that picture of Tesla. That was this right here. That is the dashboard of a Model S or X. You see the, I don't know if I can do an expando on that. I can't. But it's got an 18-inch screen, but it's built. See if I can get me back in here. It's, it's vertical. It's in portrait mode rather than landscape mode. In the Model Y, the screen is landscape oriented. It's this way. In the Model S and X, it's this way. It's in portrait mode. Let's go to, we'll hit, see, no, that's not it. The Tesla car is parked. It's 5,000 Glades Road, there you go. 248 volts of range in the fuel tank. Whoops, supposed to keep it running. We're just gonna shrink it down. We're not going to erase it. So now we're gonna look for the other Tesla, the white Tesla logo. There it is. Let's go look for a car. So we're going to vehicles, and then we're going to hit Model X. That's the go-to car. Starting price $89,999. You got lots of nines in there. $89,990. Okay. EP range of 352 miles. 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. This is the standard car, 5 seats. Aha! That's what I wanted to see. Right here. See? This is the dashboard. So there's a hump right here by the steering wheel. And they have the steering wheel option, see the yoke, rather than the round steering whel. The top is like, so it's like flying an airplane. I love it. And there, this display in the middle here, right over the steering column, has all your car stuff, like how fast you're going. It shows you in the middle of the lanes or drifting left or right. When you're on autopilot, the car keeps it right smack in the middle of the road, on your side of the road. It's really quite spectacular. So here, they have redesigned the cockpit of the car so that it's in landscape mode. So since all the car details are in the hump part, you're not wasting a portion of the screen with that information. So now you can have a full screen of stuff there. You can play the movies. You can put Netflix on there and watch a movie. It is permitted because you have all the car stuff in there. You're not allowed to watch the movie. Everybody else watches the movie. The passenger can watch the movie. They're very close, I think, to having 3 ultra-responsive displays. Yeah, you got a display between the seats for the rear passengers. You have the seating. The white seating, by the way, is really so good. Yeah, I'm surprised they don't show it with the white seating. Entertainment for everybody. Streaming. Play your favorite movies, songs, Stream wherever you travel. with the premium connectivity. You don't need extra Wi-Fi. If you're paying the $10 a month for the premium connectivity, which heretofore was essentially, getting updates on traffic, so you could like traffic avoidance. You see these seats? They were engineered by SpaceX. It's the similar seats, may even be exactly the same seat that is in the space capsules. They spent $1 million, designing those seats. And Tesla says, use these seats. Why the hell are we spending more engineering money trying to figure out what kind of seats we're going to put in our cars? Just use the seats we have in the space capsules. We've already done the engineering. We know how much the cost is. The pipeline of products that we need for the seats, the supply line, it's already in place. We just have to turn up the volume, so to speak, because now it's going to go in all the cars. So the seat you're sitting in a Tesla car, front seat, back seat, left seat, right seat, all the seats are essentially the same, engineered by SpaceX. The seats are even ventilated with your air conditioning system. So if you're in a cold climate, let's just say it's cold, we have snow and everything, the seats are warmed up because it's 0 degrees outside, right? Let's just pretend. We're in Cafe 812, by the way, Simulcast, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter Live. Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Twitter Live. I think we only have, since we had to get rid of the VPN. Yeah, do we have VPN up here? I don't think so. I think it is OFF. Let's do a speed test, see where we're at. Hit the go button. The speed test looks pretty lousy up here in TV land. There it is. Woo! We're at 430 megabits per second down. You can't see it because it's not part of the operating system for Ecamm Live, and not everything that I can see on my computer display here is going to come through the entire network. So we have 85 megabits per second up. That's what we need. That's exactly, we actually only need 7 megabits per second, and we're having 80. So we have a lot of bandwidth. We have very good bandwidth this morning. I had slow bandwidth on this iPad because I had the VPN turned on. I've turned it off everywhere. Now here's the Model X, like exit, and you can see all the speakers. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's like 16 speakers. So you're talking about surround sound, and you can't see where they are. They're like hidden. Yeah, I mean there was a day where you wanted to see the speakers and the grills and all that. No. There you go. Maximum comfort. If you look inside the SpaceX, the Dragon capsule, those seats look just like that. Yeah. Extremely comfortable. Lower lumbar support, all that kind of stuff. You see the horizontal landscape mode on the 18-inch screen right in front of you. And you can see what I was talking about with the controls on this hump. They should have this hump on all the cars. I don't know what, there's an extra cost for the display. Screw it, Make all the dashboards the same. Make this hump the same everywhere. This is where you need to have your eyes, here you just have your eye look up, eye look down, With the Model Y, it's all over here. You got nothing there. That hump, there's no hump. It just goes straight across. And there's no little display in there. For the $100 in parts, but you're going to save money because you're not going to have two different types of dashboards. You're going to have one dashboard for everything. And it's going to have the hump, and you're going to have that display, and that frees up all the information on this display. Granted, one day you're just going to walk into your car and say, take me. Car, take me to work. And it's just going to take you to work. You don't need steering wheel. You don't need brake pedals. It's going to find its way through traffic. Stop and go and stop. Hopefully go. And I'm looking at the CNN situation. These are all delayed displays. I'm not allowed to actually be transmitted, which I'm not. Anyway, that's what the Model Y looks like. The future of travel is autonomous, and they're really squeezing like hell to get that goddamn autonomous thing in place. Look at that motor. They make their own motors. Everything here is all the machinery. I don't think they make the ball bearings. They probably buy that. Those are, a ring that fits right on there. They machine the shaft. I mean, all this stuff is manufactured in the Tesla factory. Yeah, they have a motor division, a motor, like a subset of the workflow, where they assemble the motor. The whole drive unit is like a side show that then feeds into the production line. So there's a motor. There's a separate production line and to create the motor. Here you got it wraps. You see the way the motor is wrapped. It's all autonomously made. It's all robotics. Yeah, I mean it's beautiful to watch, really. Once you start watching the motor being built, you can't stop. You can't break your attention away. It is such an interesting thing to see. You should play all these little videos that are available on the Tesla site. This is the Model X. So the standard is 670 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, which is just a tad under 4 seconds. If you get the Plaid model, your peak power on your motor units goes up to 1,000 horsepower. It drops the range to 335, and the 0 to 60 is 2.5. So let me tell you, when you're at a dead stop and all of a sudden you want to get to 60, you depress the accelerator pedal and whoo, it is fast. These Tesla cars are like those little racing cars you see here. They are very, very fast. The Model X is built for maximum utility. Yeah. The car automatically opens and shuts the door for you. Now, that's pretty nice. If you got your hands full and you're going to go take a seat in the car, you can see, now watch Mama when she goes around into the car. Watch this. The door opens for her automatically, and then see, there's no arm pulling the door shut. The door shuts itself and seals it closed. Here we go. You get a next. Watch this. I'll do a little expando thingy here. And watch, she's going to come around here, popping it out of the way. And the door opens, see, automatically as she comes around the car, and then it closes itself and seals itself. I'm going to watch it again. This is very interesting. I think it's very interesting. All right, Papa, get out of the way. All right, that closes. The door opens because it knows she's coming around, and then closes itself, and then watch that. See, it seals itself. You watch it. When you watch it when it seals itself, you'll see the seam of the door get like lined up with the paint on the car. Watch this. Watch this. Door opens automatically, and then here's where it seals up. See? That is all automated. The car senses her moving around the vehicle. It knows that she's in the. She pushed the button to close the, and then she knows. Car knows she's coming around, and the door opens up automatically, so you don't have to open the car door. They've got some kind of a motor unit connected with the hinge. There's a lot of stress. You know, when you have a motor unit controlling the opening of the door, that's like in the hinge mechanism, essentially. Or that is a lot of, the motors these days are so strong. These electric motors. Whew, boy. This whole gull wing arrangement, I could do without that. Quite frankly, I could just have two regular doors in the back. If that would save me money, that's how I'd buy that car. The hell with the gull wing. To me, that's unnecessary engineering. It actually delayed the delivery of the cars. There's the Model X, 700 horsepower. It gives you the dimensions. Let's see. Different wheels, 61 inches above the ground. That doesn't change. There you go. 20 or 22 inch hubs. Get the 20 inch hubs. 22 inch hubs is not enough rubber. There's no pneumatic. There's very little pneumatic. P-N-E-U-M-A-T-I-C. Pneumatic. P-N-E-U. Yeah. You need more rubber between the road and the rim. Just remember that. The distance between the road and the rim is the dimension of the rubber I'm interested in. And if you're a speed racer, that's all you do is you're on the track all the time with your car, which is kind of unimaginable. Why would you buy a Model X and you're on the track all the time? But if you're out on regular roads, where you have potential potholes, maybe they're only 1 inch potholes, because a manhole cover, when they paved the road, they didn't raise the manhole cover up to the level of the new road, including the new pavement. There's an extension you can buy. These municipalities should be buying these extensions so that the manhole cover fits so it's on a plane with the resultant paving of the road. Yep. They're not doing that. They're not doing that in Boca Raton, I can tell you. So every time they pave the road, the the rim on the cast iron rim that the manhole cover is sitting on stays at the same point because it hasn't been extended, and the pavement keeps building up. There's somewhere there's like a 3 or 4 inch depression for the manhole cover because they've not spent the money to extend the cross section of the manhole entrance. The cover should be level with the plane of the road, and it's not. by a pretty good margin. That's easily measured. And the road people know, they're just saving money. You know, those extensions probably cost $500 each. Because it's a heavy cast iron ring that fits right over the original base of the manhole cover, and it just extends above that. So you can measure it. This is a 3-inch extension, and you run around and add up all your manhole covers. There's probably 1,000 of them at least in Boca Raton. So 1,000 times 1,000 is turns out to be real money, doesn't it? Yeah. Here's my calculator. There we go. So we're going to clear everything. 1,000. Let's just say let's say it's $850 for a rim. I'm plucking that right out of my fanny. I don't know what it costs. It's not 10 cents, and it's not $10, and it's not $100, and it's probably less than 1,000. So let's just say it's $850, and let's say they have 1,000 manhole covers that need these rim extenders. That's $850,000. They need to take $1 million out of their budget and go buy rim extensions, because they're ruining everybody's camber and caster on their cars. Because they're popping into these manhole covers. And that means when you have the camber and the caster, that means the wheels are going to be grinding against the pavement. Instead of the wheel just rolling straight over the pavement, the camber and the caster of the wheels has changed, left, right, or a little bit sideways. And that means there's going to be more road, there's going to be more wear and tear on the rubber of the tire, but it's also more wear and tear on the road itself. So they may be spending $850,000 for rims, but they're going to save $5 million in paving expense, because the camber and the caster of these wheels on these cars will not get thrown out of alignment. Yeah, wheel alignment. That's camber and caster. A couple of new vocabulary words for you. I explained it with my hands. Yeah. Okay, here we're looking at the front page of Flipboard, and Adobe launches a pro-level camera app for your iPhone. Well, that sounds interesting. Let's see if we can find that. Whoops. We just do the flip, and then we'll do that, and let's just look for what that just said. Looking for that headline. We're just going to flip through a couple of these. Sometimes you have to go through a lot of flips to get to that story. So you know what, so since I did a print screen, we can actually go to the photo that I just created. The touch screens are so sensitive. There we go. There's the story. So the nice thing about the operating system, with a new feature that's been added to the operating system of the camera app, is the inclusion of, you can touch the sentence like that. It turns a little blue. You see it has a little blue. And then you can pull these things over and get that story from Popular Science, magazine. So we're going to look it up. So, what do you want to do? You want to copy it? You want to select it? You want some writing tools? You want to translate it? We want to look it up. And I guess we'll just go to the top one and see what if it takes you to it. This looks like that's not taking me anywhere I want to be. No. All right. I couldn't look it up. We'll just jiggle that a little bit. We're going to look it up again. But now we're going to search the web. And I'm going to look for this PopSci. There we go. Adobe launches a pro-level camera app. This should go right to it. There it is. Adobe launches a pro-level camera app. There you go. And what does it do for you? Get the Popular Science Daily Newsletter. Yeah. You've never looked beyond your phone's default camera app? It's worth doing. Both the Adobe App Store and the Google Play Store features dozens of decent alternatives for capturing images, without using the standard Apple software that comes with the cameras in the phone, which are quite good. So if they're going to add a widget or whatever, it's tough to match what Apple is giving you as part of the operating system. So here's 2 pictures. So I'm not sure if we're comparing photos. What are we doing here, folks? So up here we got 2 pictures. And then they have a little expansion. See all the snow and noise? When you... this is what it looked like if you have a 10 by 15 print made. That would be the level you see all that. When you step back, 4 feet away, you're not going to see all that noise. And let's look at this. It's all gone. It is clean as a whistle. And you see the clock face. Every second is now, easily discernible. You can. Yeah, it is. Which one do you like? You go to the leftmost picture. If I touch that, does it go anywhere? No. So, Project Indigo. We can go 32 different directions with the camera. That has to do with the, expanding the picture, making it bigger, as big as it will allow. You can't get more information than the information provided. This gives that sentence in the story tells everybody what they want to know. And that's what we wanted to know. Here's an early evening picture showing the lighting, which is bright white. We could make all the traffic lights that color, but yeah. Manual controls of the camera app. How to use Project Indigo. Download and launch Project Indigo, I think. So I can touch this button right here. It'll take me to the App Store. PI. That stands for Project Indigo. We can open it because I've already downloaded it into the. This tells you what. Which cameras are covered with this app. A little buggy. It's brand new software. It just was released a few months ago. But they have a very big audience. And see, it was updated a week ago, version 1.0.0.2. 1.0.2. Yep. A lot of times it's better to wait till next year when more people have used this software and sent suggestions to the software teams. The software teams will select certain sentences for them to deliver to I'm just looking at the app stores. It's a staggering amount of information on these things. This is what some of the displays look like on your iPhone. So you can adjust, the depth of field, the shutter speed, the ISO, a lot of things that are essentially automatic on the iPhone with Project Indigo, which is their test product, trying to get the software debugged using all of us as the guinea pig, the guinea pigs, piggly wigglies. So it gives you just look at this, an array of pictures. Not this one I'm talking about, what we've got on the iPhone. Yeah. A little buggy, so beyond impressed. Error feedback. Yeah. So fantastic image quality with Indigo. I love it. Yeah. Yeah. Photoshop will have a couple of million, people. Personally, I'll let them get the software debugged, and over the year it'll smooth out. So I don't have the patience to write the reviews and write the forward-looking comments about what they should do, what's annoying about the software, which they want to hear. But it's all statistical because they don't know me from Adam, wherever Adam is. Yeah, Publix is telling me you got prescriptions there, dickhead. Amazon prices are going to go up. All the Sony products, oh my God. 25% tariff on Sony. So, if you want their brand new headphones, get them now. They're going up $100 each. For the package. So So instead of 400, it's going to be 500. You add tax to that. Phew. Speed test, we should be good now. Let's hit it again. I can tell just by looking at the jitter. The ping. There we go. The ping was 25 milliseconds. So that's all right. That's what makes up the bulk of. Yeah, I had. All right. Wow. Upload speed 89 megabits per second. I need 8.9. I've got 89. So I've got 10 times the amount of upload speed. Good thing I got rid of that virtual private network business. I understand the value of that, but Xfinity just came out with new hardware. Well, this is new hardware in my place. The modem may be a year old as far as being available to the public. I don't know how long they've been distributing this new modem. It could be. The old one works, but it's not good. It won't work for 2 gigabit service. It's not designed for that speed. So you're not going to get it, at the low one. So if you're a 2 gigabit subscriber, they ought to be recommending the new modem, which they're not. I recommended a new modem. They said, I want this modem replaced with a new one. Yes, certainly in 8 years, they've improved the modem. I want the improved modem. If you don't mind, would you make sure that happens? Why, certainly, sir. Whatever we can do to make you happy. That's a good answer. Yeah, I like that answer. Let's make me happier. Rather than just modestly happy, I want to be fully happy. Happy to. So the ping test, the way I read that, they've started the signal, let's say 10 times. On. I have very limited funds in my account, so I can't go off willy-nilly and do too much. Going to dinner tonight. I'll make sure Marilyn brings her other card over. I'll send her a message, a private virtual message. We'll make the reminder in bold. Reminder. There we go. And a couple spaces, a colon, another space. Get rid of that period. There we go. And then down here, please bring All right, let's see how that typed out. Please bring your other debit card. I only have $100 in my TD account. There we go, reminder. That went right to Marilyn. She'll get that. She gets this. And we're gonna copy this and do it again. Copy and paste. Reminder, please bring your other card to PUBLIX. Pharmacy. There you go. You're seeing in live television. She's busy in the bank and all that. But when I push this button, that goes right to her Apple Watch, and it also goes to her iPhone. So she'll have 2 text messages. Reminder, we're going to call this number 2. There we go, reminder number 2. And now I'm going to hit the, let's see, can I do something with Publix Pharmacy? Select, there we go. And we're going to, what are we going to do with that? Text effects. Let's have it ripple. Yeah, see Publix Pharmacy. Can I extend it for today also? Publix Pharmacy today? No, it didn't do it. Okay, we'll just look at that. Bingo. Select. We're going to go all the way, text effects, and ripple. There you go. Now we've included it today in there. We'll hit it. See now. See how it. Watch how it. Publix Pharmacy. Oh, it stopped rippling. Let's go somewhere else and then come back to it. Does it ripple? Well, maybe it ripples on her device. Anyway, we got reminder and reminder number 2. So now, because Publix is telling me they're going to put this stuff back on, we're going to return it to stock if you don't get it soon. There you go, see it? So, and I can go to, let's see, do I have PUBLIX? Gosh darn it. Publix, we want this app right here. Long skinny because it's designed for the iPhone, obviously. And we're going to push the button down here on the bottom. It says income, patients, prescription. And we have 4 that are ready. We have my breast tree. Thank you very much. We have my Don Pizzelle. Yeah, not too sure how to pronounce that word. Ozempic. And we have pregabalin. I need those pills. Yeah, because I'm running out of them. That's it. So that's why we're sending messages to Marilyn. This is number 2. Number 1. So we sent our 2 reminders. One, to bring that car for dinner tonight. We're having dinner with the boys tonight. We're going to Mia Rosebud, a place we really like. I think we're going to sit inside tonight because it's a little, it's a little hot in the evening. My patio is 91.4 degrees. Yeah. I have my cleaning ladies coming tomorrow. So, we need to have Marilyn make a little transfer. Let's see if I got any, They come up with these stupid names. There it is, the Truest. This is it does Face ID, sign-in error. Oh, God. I haven't signed in with this since I got the new. I'm going to do it on my phone because I know it's all set up on here. Please. It tracks. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, see, it won't. Yeah. The passwords are. There we go. Just looking for a balance over here. Positive balance. Come on, baby. Yeah, I got a positive balance. So I'm going to Zelle. I'll just leave it there. All right, so I got a couple $100 in another account. We'll just leave it there, and we'll Zelle. That's nice. I can Zelle money to the cleaning lady's account. She is on the ball, so I don't have to worry about getting cash downstairs at the local little grocery thing we have down there behind the building. Walking distance, just cross over the street, and there you go. Yeah, nice little grocery. I buy my tea there, and might buy a lottery ticket. You can't win if you don't play. Chances of winning is like slim and none, mostly none. Yeah. The CEA report says the tariffs are not causing inflation. Yeah. So I think what's happening with the tariffs is that, some of these companies, the gross margin is so huge that they're just absorbing it. And maybe they're absorbing some on the way into the country, and then the companies that are using these products are there we go. Get my Apple Watch on my wrist, and then the companies that are using the products, like reselling them into the country. So let's say products come in from China into a distributor, and then the distributor eats some of that tariff. They probably split it. So the factory that's making the products in China eats half of the tariff, and then the distributor that receives the Chinese products eats the other half of the tariff. Or maybe they divide it up in thirds, and the retailer, maybe the price has gone up like 5%. So instead of passing that 5% along to their customers, they're eating the 5%. The distributor eats 5%, and the factory eats 5%. That's the 15% tariff. And the customer here doesn't realize a price increase. Therefore, no inflation. Yeah. And because everyone's getting, tax breaks and all this kind of stuff, these companies are expecting increased volumes because of the affluence of the American society. And that's, another enhancement that they really appreciate. New hands-on iPhone 17 Air video reveals sleek black finish. Yeah, look how... Yeah, that looks pretty thin. How thin is it? Is it 5 millimeters? They don't actually give a dimension. What does that say? iPhone 17 Pro. iPad Mini. Oh, with A17 Pro. That's a... yeah. So this article here is... Yeah. Let's press this. It'll give us a... Oh, look at that little bit. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. Woo! That is one thin puppy. See, one camera, though. Instead of 3 cameras, you got 1 camera. So, if you want the sleek design, except you still have a camera bump, that is thin. Yeah. That's what they're showing on Twitter. X. Very nice. Let's see what's going on when we touch this one. This is the phone. Is. That's the is. So the Pro is 8. So the 16 Pro Max, which is what I have in my hands right now. This is the Pro Max. Right here, with a case on it. You take the case off, it becomes thinner. We can pop that case off pretty easily. Let's not drop the phone now. The case is very good. Because I've dropped the phone, 10 times a week. There it goes. Oh, God. There's the case. There's the phone. Look at this sleek new design. I can do that. Yeah, look at this. It's pretty nice. Turn the light up. You can see it a little bit better. There we go. Yeah, there's the phone. There we go. There's the time. It is 10:39 a.m. But this is a pretty nice, sleek new design. Look at that. You can see this is live stuff here. 3 cameras with the bump, and you can see I'm doing a reflection, so you can see the 3 cameras. So if you get the iPhone 17 Air, the Air means it's a thin model. Look, we're professional photographers, I'm told. So thin and no cameras. Thin and losing 2 cameras does not interest me. I'm interested in the cameras. I mean, we take, every time we go out to a restaurant, if they give you a real beautiful display when they serve your food, whip your camera out and take a picture of your food. Get right up close and personal. So if you want to send a message to one of your buddies, you can show them how beautiful the food looks over at Mia Rosebud. We're going there tonight at 5 o'clock. 5:30, I think, is the anticipated meeting time at Mia Rosebud. Look at this guy. He's got his Mac computer with its display. That's a video. What that looks like. So this is YouTube video.
iPadOS 20 has completely revitalized what the iPad can be to a lot of people.
Talking.
Of course, it can still be your content consumption throw-around tablet that you use in the house, but whether you have the entry-level iPad or a fully loaded iPad Pro, iPadOS 26 has seemingly turned the iPad into a full-on computer replacement for a lot of people. And of course, we have some awesome accessories that go along with iPadOS 26, like external monitors right here, tablets that also are magnetic and charge your iPad at the same time, and a bunch of other things that I wanted to show off to use with iPadOS 26. All these will work to a certain extent with all the different iPads in the lineup, and I'll link them down below in the order that they're mentioned. And of course, this is coinciding with Prime Day. People are having early deals as well as Prime Day deals, so I'll leave the best price down below, and now is the best time to really kind of accessorize your iPad to the fullest. Let's get into it. So let's start off with what's on the iPad itself, and that's going to be the Logitech Combo Touch. I could have just gone the easy route and recommended the Magic Keyboard, which is a great product in its own right, but for $350, it's just a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow. So Logitech is going to be the best alternative if you want the one-to-one experience that Apple gives you, especially from a trackpad perspective. Logitech is the only other brand that's allowed to use the pin connectors in order to give you the best trackpad experience, and it works identically to the trackpad experience that you're paying $350 for with the Magic Keyboard, but at either half or even less of a price. These range anywhere from $120 to I think $240 with deals coming down the line. Like I said, I'll link it down below, but you're getting a full-fledged keyboard, and it's more versatile in my opinion than the Magic Keyboard. So first off, the trackpad is gigantic, and it is a diving board trackpad, so there is a physical click down versus a digital haptic feedback click down on the Magic Keyboard. But again, if you've never used the Magic Keyboard, then this is going to be amazing for you. You also get a full keyboard as well as a full function row, which is great to see with some awesome shortcuts like lock, going to your home screen, volume up and down. You have your playback controls as well. And then what I like about this that's different from the Magic Keyboard is that it is detachable with the case still on. One of the things about the Magic Keyboard is that it lacks the protection of the actual iPad itself. But this is an actual iPad case that can be used without the keyboard.
The iPad is 2,000.
So it can be used in much smaller situations or use cases like being able to use it on an actual airplane. The Magic Keyboard takes up almost too much space, especially with a 13-inch version of the iPad. So if you guys are looking for an actual keyboard that works super well, works how Apple intended it to do, but don't want to spend $350,
I didn't pay that
Logitech Combo Touch is going to be my recommendation, and they make it for all the iPads except for the iPad Mini. And now let's go over to an external monitor. A lot of people ask me questions about this monitor that I've had in the past, and this is going to be the Satsu Elite 16 Flip, and it's pretty much the highest end thing that you can get when it comes to an external monitor. It is 16 inches across, it connects via one USB-C cable.
And, okay, so we're going to go back here and resume. There we go. So now we have our music from Epidemic. Sound instrumental. There we go. Let's get back to Ecamm Live. Alright, so that was a little detour we took. We went to 9 to 5 Mac. 9 to the letters T-O. 9 T-O 5 MAC. 9 to 5 Mac. It's a good place to go. It has a row of stuff, a column on the side, and when you touch the item you want to read, you just touch it, ding, and then there you go. You can see the similar display of the iPhone flipped and the iPhone display. Sleek, new black finish. In recent weeks, you get all the speed stuff. They're packing, a premium lithium kind of battery in there. To keep the operating time, so it'll work all day on one charge. That's important. Now, is it the same? It's supposed to be giving us a 500 milliampere hour battery in our Apple 17 Pro Max in the standard configuration that looks like this with a 6.9 inch diagonal screen. Yep. Plug that in, hang that right on the thing there, and turn the phone off, and magic, I get this nice display here, which I think you can see that. Oops. Off, please. There we go. Dow Jones is flat. I mean, it's minus $37. You divide 37 by 44,000. It's a couple of decimal points. The order of magnitude is like, it's no change. I mean, a 400 change is, 1%. Right? 4,000 change is 10%. That would be a big move. 200 change is 0.5%. That's nothing. Half up, half down. That's the normal ups and downs of a trading stock market. Yep. So that is what that new iPhone Air is going to look like. I'll do a print screen on that because I'll put that in my photo album for future reference, and see. This should be a prototype of the phone with so the bar goes all the way across with the single lens on the left side of the back of the phone. Save the photos. That is done. Now we can go to the photo album. Come over here. Over here. Today's. Hit that one right there. Let's brighten that up a bit, yeah. And then we're gonna turn the blacks on all the way. The color is pretty much as much as we can do. I think we can trim that up. There's no sense in having the picture wider than it really is. So we'll go right there. There we go. Come back to adjustments. What else can we do to this thing to make it, to give it a little deeper? Yeah, turn the shadows down. Highlights. We're just going to leave that right there. The brilliance, let's slide that up and down. See where they want that. I would say right about there. Yeah. And that needs to look black, and it doesn't. It looks blue. So let's get the color temperature, and now it's right there. That would be the black, that's the right color temperature for that. Get the blueness out of there. There you go. That's what it looks like. iPhone 17 Pro Air. Not for me. Remember this? Adobe launches pro-level camera app. Yeah. Now here, the media has just noticed that the outside of the, now notice the rim here is pretty much a circle. But you notice that the bottom of the engine, the case design, you see the white case around that rim, has a flattened, appearance, giving the engine the best aerodynamic characteristics for the plane. See, both engines have a flat casing. It's hard to see here because it's the way the light is shaded. But on this side, you can see it much better. So I don't know what this is an Airbus 380, big engines, big fan. You don't want to be anywhere near that engine when it's running. It'll suck you right in, and you'll be dead. The engine could also get destroyed because I don't think it could chew through all your bones, safely. You'd be finished though, yeah. It'll suck everything right. The people that run the business, there's a lot of stuff that goes on to fill those planes up, cargo, this and that. Unplug and plug headphone devices. Nothing is on the runway. See, it's clean as a whistle because those engines will pick it up. And we don't want stuff picking up. We don't want the engines picking up stuff because those fans are like, wow, super, super fast. And they blow a lot of air. And, for them to come off a stopped plane, oh yeah, that's right. Yep. 737. That is the workhorse of the aero business in the United States. That's 737, Boeing 737. And there's a Boeing 37, Max. That has even bigger fan jets on it, I believe. And the plane is slightly longer, taking on more seats. So it's probably a slightly bigger airplane, giving another 20% of capacity in the seating capacity. Since they've already designed the airfoil and all the other stuff, it's going to be a lot easier to increase, the width of that plane to accommodate whatever the phone shall be, as far as pleasantry. Well, not too sure what's going on there. Got Marilyn's registration. Oh, her sticker has been renewed. 8/26. So yeah, additional 13 months of life in that. I see Tesla. There's the VIN number. The weight, 4,364 pounds. It's black. Expires on midnight Monday, 8/10/26. I'll tell you Monday. So at 1 a.m., the police are going to be after you. And, yeah. That is the VIN number. The plate is a Florida Atlantic University plate. There's the plate number, A284Q. Yepper. I have a... Why haven't I... There we go. We need to... Then we come up here and do this. There we go. Do this. Recenter that puppy. Right there. Yeah, if we move over these, I should be able to get a little bit more of that. There we go. That's what I want. Bring this down a little bit. So we don't want that. There we go. That's perfect. So I'm going to go to adjustments, and then I'm going to come over here to pen, and in I guess it'll be a red pen and line point. All right, so we're just gonna put a box around this plate number, and we're gonna put a box around the weight. Hold it, and we're going to put a box around this, the VIN number, and the year model of the car. Come right around here, hold it, box. Perfect. I got the title number, the expiration, the decal, and the expiration. I guess I may as well put a box around that too. Oops, this is a lopsided box. There we go. See how it centers it? This Apple stuff is really quite good. And we should put a box around who the owner of this car is. Perfect boxes. We're done. That is extremely nicely done. Let's mail to. Let's get that pen out again, and we'll put a box around this right here. Hold it. Forms the perfect box. Done. There we go. We're done. There we go. We got boxes everywhere. But you know, that traps your eyes, so you can see the 4Q. We've had that plate, you know, for probably 10 years. And we've got the weight of the car, 4,364 pounds. Yeah, that's a ton. A ton of fun. A ton is 2,000 2,200 pounds, I think, is a ton.
It's 11 o'clock.
Alexa, how many pounds in a ton?
1 ton is equal to 2,000 pounds.
A ton is 2,000 pounds. I don't know where I got 2,200 from. 2,000 pounds, so that's 2 tons. 2 times 2 is 4. So it's a little over 2 tons. Wow. Anyway, 4,000 pounds. That's enough. Soon, Trump is going to speak at his cabinet meeting. Well, we're going to have to break away for that, for certain. All right. So, we're going to send this doodad to the printer. Print. We're going to print it. Yep. Because that sticker is going to go off. You know, it's going to be dispatched onto the. We need to select a printer. No tricks now. Ooh, looking for printer. That's not good. Why are we looking for printer? Let's wake it up. Pull the drawer out. There we go. The printer is now awake. It's been sleeping. All right, I'm going to hit the up arrow thingy and look for printer and see if we can select a printer. It should pop up right away. It's not popping up right away. Could be the printer is not online. I changed the modem, you know, and sometime I'm going to have to probably log into the internet again with the printer. I think it's offline. Okay, that's all right. We'll do that at a later time. We've been on the air here for an hour and 54 minutes. Did we learn anything today? Look at my photo album here. So we talked about the iPhone 17. This is Adobe is launching a new app to work with the cameras. I figured out how to get 15 gigabytes of email storage reimbursed into this account. I did some of that on either my iPhone or this iPad. You can optimize. There's a selection in the setup menu. Let's see if I can show you that. So you go to. All right, let's see. Let's go here. Oh, this fitness thing? No, thank you. You know, oh boy, that water is really warm. iCloud. We're going to go to iCloud because that's where stuff is stored. I have 6. Yeah, look at that. 600 gigabytes of 2 terabytes. Okay. This you can see in the middle of the screen, sort of. The iCloud backup was done 19 hours ago. I got over 9,999 photos. I've got 56 gigabytes tied up in text messages and the attachments on the text messages. They don't seem to have, let's see. on the iPhone, they have a check mark, a switch. And you can flip the switch and apps from the App Store, applications that you haven't used in a long time, it'll get rid of them so that your home screen doesn't get all clogged up with a bunch of apps that you really don't need because you don't check that. Let's take a look. Sometimes it takes a while for this stuff to optimize itself. So I'm going to go to the setup screen, the settings, and I'm going to go to general, and I'm going to hit about, and let's see. I have 400. See, this was 360 or something, and now it's at 407. So there has been some optimization accomplished. I'm looking on here, iPhone storage. This is the place. Remove automatic downloads of episodes. I'll enable that. Optimize photos. I don't think I want to do that. Let's see. Review large attachments. Let's see. Let's hit that. Yeah, look at ooh. See, I got 10 gigabytes and 2 files, and that's because of I did some videos of the fireworks on July 4th. Really quite spectacular, actually. Yeah. Whew, it was really good. And if you can listen to the fireworks, it is like it's mind-blowing. The sound, the percussion of the power of those display explosions. Whew. You can imagine what the people are facing. In a wartime situation where they have real bombs going off that have the power of the blast is breathtaking. There we go. July 8th. Yeah, Tuesday, July 8th. And the Dow looks like it's down currently. This is, probably 15 minutes delay. It was down 148. It's down 148 in the current hour of 11. Somewhere between 5 of 11 and 8 minutes after 11. In that period of time, it's trading down 148.13. Nothing. That's like, less than 1%. Easy to determine. 148 divided by, 44,000? Forget the change. Equals 0.3%. Yeah, I wanted to get the order of magnitude. 0.3 of a point. That's like, nothing. That's, in theory, just about nothing. Yeah. All right, so I have to start my printers. I have to let my printers find the new network, which is the same network, but has a slightly different MAC address. Well, it has a different MAC address. I'm sure it's major different adjustments. So it can't log in to my network here until I let the printer recognize the MAC address of the new modem, and then put the password back in. We should be in business. Yeah. Such a pile of debris. It's disgusting. They're trying to, see if there are any bodies stuck in the debris. They probably had dogs, that are sniffing around there. Because, bodies start to, decay a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. And the dogs can smell it. Cadaver dogs. They can smell it a mile away. So they've walked around that site with some dogs, and it smells. I mean, it could be other animals trapped in there. So they're looking at debris. The waters have receded largely down to just high instead of crazy high. 100-year flood high. And the flood just ripped trees right out of the ground. I mean, there was a huge rush of water into the Guadalupe. And, everybody knows these areas flood like hell. So, why they would set up a campgrounds on the slope of this thing right by that, the dam, that there's an area where the water flows through, and it's like a cement bottom to it, so it doesn't rip up the bottom. But this flood was so huge above the the prescribed height, and that just took out everything that was in its way, and it's mostly vegetation. A couple of houses got lifted off its foundation. It may have been a stilt house that was on stilts, and because you had this big blockage, you could have some stuff hitting you in the face. That's all crown right here. Amazing. Oh well. I was just gazing at the horsemen riding around the site, and they're all sniffing around and riding. They're riding in areas that you can't get a vehicle into, where horses can walk through, the terrain and mud and stuff. That has something to do with that flood. Oh my God. It's big stuff. Yeah. Anyway, so that's the big news, is the flood, and here's the AI. How is the Chat GPT, with the AI, artificial intelligence, how is that going to work, with these young folks that are in school? And is it going to louse up their mental health? Which that seems to be a stretch, wouldn't you think? I don't know, their mental health is going to go wacko. But it's going to simplify things. It can write reports. There's a lot of things this damn thing can do. ChatGPT is giving you a report, okay? The operative word is give. They're giving you the report. You've set the parameters up, and you said, go find me, I want to write a story about, this company and how come they're operating so differently today. And what their company. Oops, get out of here. These touch screens, they almost can read your finger before you even touch the screen. All right, let's see if we can find something about that story with the artificial intelligence. That seemed to be, the implication. I don't agree with the implication. So let's see if we can find the story. I know where I can find it, I think. Let's go here. Let's touch the picture. There we go. Where is this from? From writing. Okay, so we're gonna look it up. Then go look up. This is Forbes magazine. Let's see if I can get to Forbes. There you go. Yeah, that's the story. Here we go. Let's save the photo in the album. We can do the, if it won't let you if it won't let you, hold your finger down and it doesn't pop up do you want to save it to your photo album, you can just do a print screen. And here we got a very nice photo. Looks balanced. There you go. Save the photos. See, and then you can come. We're going to go back to the story in a second. And we can go to here's the new photo. Where'd it go? Right. The second one is the print screen. At this, let's make that a little bit, make it look a little nicer. A little of that. We're gonna do a little, very little of that. Then we're gonna come down to the top here. And you can play with the contrast. Contrast has a big effect on. And we gotta back off this color. There we go. I actually don't like the way it looks. Let's just undo it. I'm just gonna go with the recommend. I'm gonna turn up the black. That's it. It doesn't adjust the contrast or anything. It just takes a little bit of the edge off. There you go. Save it to photos. See how that one looks? And this is how this one looks. We didn't actually touch the color. We just accentuated the blacks, and the rest of it was done with the shadow tool, not the contrast tool, the one next to it, shadow. I'll show you, shadow. It's shadows right here, this one. So see, this is one that'll brighten it up. We're going to turn up the blacks. Color looks good. Shadows look good. Highlights. I think we'll just leave it alone. 0. Brilliance. Alright, so I'll leave that alone. Done. Okay, so we were going to go to the story quickly. Here's the story. How ChatGPT and AI use in academics might impact student mental health. How do they come up with these conclusions? According to the study, EEG measurements across the brain showed that over 4 months, the ChatGPT users displayed the lowest brain activity Interesting. They actually did, they call that electroencephalograph, EEG. That stands for electroencephalograph. Where EKG is electrocardiogram. Different parts of the body, different equipments. There we go. Possible impact of ChatGPT and AI assistance on resiliency. Well, this is the part of science I don't like. Because it's like, anyway, they've got this correlation between certain kind of brain waves and mental health, and it's talking about what's going on in the health wagon. Do you want your changes? It's all a bunch of hocus pocus. I call that hocus pocus. Yeah, forget it. Not to worry about that one. And all that weird stuff. Here's the clouds we had outside our apartment last night. It had some serious rain. And look at that frontal edge right there. It looks like it's going to explode. It didn't. It just flustered like that. That's looking the other south, east. This is like looking east, northeast. You can almost see it moving right there. Keep looking at it. Whoops, let's hit the play button. There we go. So that cloud, that's my favorite condo project right there, Palmetto Place. I make these signs up right here. So when I log in, there's a footer and a tail of this digital display that gets recorded and played back over YouTube and the other two social networks. Because you can find it by date, because every day there's it goes up one, right? So July. So tomorrow I'm going to try to do my broadcast from like 8 to 10, that 2-hour segment. Yeah. I'm 18 minutes over on this one. 2 hours and 18 minutes, wow. It's 11:30 already. Yep, well, we talked about a few things. Cafe 812. I don't always talk. Sometimes we just rest and look at what I'm displaying and showing you all. Yep. Here's books. These are books that I have. Well, these are books that you can listen to. Audio bookstore. So here's audiobooks where they read the books to you. Now you can buy books. You don't even have to read them. They'll read them out loud, and you can just listen to your books. Is that nuts or what? I mean, I did one. I forget what the story was. It was, I don't know if the TV came out first or the book came out first, or they came out in a similar period of time, overlapping period of time. It took me, I calculated, I kept track of how many hours I had in dealing with the body of the plane. I was very interested in the atomic outside edge. What's the container made like that houses the electronics we're speaking about? You got to put it in something, right? Anyway. Yep. Everything from South Korea is going up. It's at a 25% tariff. Holy crap. South Korea they're like China, they make everything. That's like a step up if you're a South Korean firm. You start off in China, and then when you get smart, you re-sign yourself up for exercising. It's like all right, folks. Say goodnight. See you tomorrow morning at 5 after 8. We're going to sign on an hour early tomorrow because I have my housekeepers coming over, and they show up, about 10:45 to 11:15 in that time slot. They stay for an hour and 15 minutes and buzz all over the place and vacuum like crazy. It makes my cats go nuts. But every 2 weeks they come in and clean up. They vacuum, they mop the floors. It's a pretty thorough cleaning job. When they're done, you can feel that things have been cleaned. Marvelous ladies from, I believe, Honduras. I think they went to visit family in Honduras when they took a little vacation. And I had to go 3 weeks until they cycled into my place. I said, Jimmy, we're gonna push you back 1 week. I said, okay. Anyway, you can rent the books right here. books about weddings, books about everything. You can get, oh my God, look at all these. I mean, it just goes on and on. Yeah. No, thank you. Home, library. There's all kinds of stuff in here. Look at that. He doesn't look very happy. The genius who took Apple to the next level. Yep. Well. I'm just looking at his U.S. Constitution. I have it in my pocket. Yeah, it's right there. Since Charlie Kirk sent me a pocket Constitution. We're starting. Here's the car. This was the car. Can I open it up? This is the specifications of my car. A big PDF file. Front springs. There we go. Cover. 1959 Corvette specifications. That's the car. Yeah, that's it right there. White with a blue panel. Let's do a little print screen on it, baby. Yeah. I drove that for 10 years. My father's name was William Henry Wilson. Okay, that was his official name. And so we were sitting at the dinner table one night, and my mother said, "Bill," calling out to my father, "Bill, give Jimmy the car." My father looks over to my mother and says, "What? What do you mean, give him the car?" "Give Jimmy your car keys." Okay, she does that. And then she looks at Bill and she says, "Bill, this is now Jimmy's car. You go get another car. You can go get another one of these if you want. But that's Jimmy's car now. He's going to take that to school with him as a sophomore, as our first person in our family ever to go to college, reaching down into history as far as we know. So we're going to do that for Jimmy. Give him the car keys." He looks over to me like, "You son of a... I didn't take your car. I didn't take your car. Your wife just forced it upon me." That's it. I drove that car for 10 years. What a beauty. Look at how that looks. Yeah. It had a soft top, and you could bolt on a hard top, with about 4 screws. It would screw it down, literally with a wrench. So I screwed on the hard top, obviously, and drove it off to school. And that was the end of my father's car. Yeah, it was my car. She made him title it to me. He paid $6,300 for that car. And he had a choice between that and a Mercedes-Benz, the SL300, something like that. I think is what the engine was called. I should have said, hey Ma, why don't you get me the SL300? It's the same price. It's the Mercedes. They've been around a longer period of time. Because this is a new model with the GM and I don't want to get stuck. Same price, $6,300. And then Dad can keep his car. Can you give me a $6,000 allowance and let me go buy my car? I'll go to the Benz dealership. I'll get an SL300. Is that okay? I should have done that. Then I would have drove off to work with a Mercedes. And those things take a licking and keep on ticking. It's a good looking car. Yeah, I'd probably be the only college student in all of Union College that would have had a new, Corvette, that's for sure. And that was a striking looking Corvette too. If we go back to the photo album and look at this. Look at that. That is a striking white with a blue panel. That's exactly what that puppy looked like. It's something a little weird about the way that looks. Where's the shadows? Let's turn up shadows. There's the blue panel below looks a little, let's turn that down a little bit. That's too much. Where's the color? I'm going to get rid of some of this color because the grass looks a little too green. There you go. That's what it looks like. I don't know why there are two of them on the cover page of that instruction manual. Well, a specification book. It had all the drawings of the car. The complete specifications of the car. Yep. That was it. And if I ever get my printer online, let's see, I was going to print Marilyn's stuff. Where's, we'll go to days and then we'll go back to photos and look for Marilyn's registration. Right here. Where's the one with all the boxes? There we go. So I'm going to go here and go to printer. Print. Come on, baby, find a printer. I don't think it's going to find a printer. I think I have to, yeah. So AirPrint is not working. And it's going to be right there, 8 by 10, yeah. Let's try print from this position. Is there a print possibility from this? No. Stop. Come here, we need to turn up the contrast here to brighten it up. There we go. Now if we do print, come to printer. It's not going to print, I'm just going to show you what. You see how this looks? Oops, it looks a little gray. Almost bluish compared to the white background. It's picking that up from somewhere. 8 by 10, yeah. So we're going to come back here. Let's see, I turned up that's the contrast. It really has no effect on it. Highlights would. I don't know why that's negative. It should be positive. We need to brighten that up. Yeah. There we go. Like that. That's part of it. Now when I back off that, then I come up and say photos and take a. This is one of the box. That's no box. That's a box. So now we're going to take this one and see if we can print it, which of course we can't. But let's try it anyway. There, now you see there's hardly any shadow compared to the white background. Okay. 8 by 10. There are different aspect ratios. A6. Postcard. 8 by 10. That's what we want. There are no printers there. It's looking for printers on my network. My network is offline. Okay. We'll fix that at a later date. I'll fix that ex post facto. Because I'll just turn around and do the wizard. You know, the setup wizard, like if you get the printer for the first time. It doesn't recognize the network here. Because I have a new modem. And the new modem has a different MAC address. And they match when you set up printers on your network. You match the MAC address of the printer to the MAC address of the modem. And that's the internet connectivity. And then whenever you call up and say, network, where's an available printer? And then all of a sudden this one will pop up. It's sitting right behind me. Yeah, that's how that works. All right, sports fans. I want you to have a nice evening. It is 11:40. Get ready for lunch, okay? It's Tuesday. It's the beginning, Monday, Tuesday. It's the beginning of a new week following the July 4th holiday. So, now what I need to do is I need to get out of this silliness, and I need to go right there. And I need to make that full screen, and I need to, make it full screen there. Because that way I have a header and a footer with this, that one. July 8th, Tuesday. Not July 8th without the Tuesday. I want July 8th with the Tuesday. And I don't want 8th Tuesday without the July either. Let's go right there. That's what we started with. All right, sports fans, we're gonna say goodbye. So, say goodbye. Everyone's gonna wave goodbye. Goodbye.